you all doing? We wave.
Hi everybody. You always have me in the fat seat. Can I come
How's
around
that
a
the
bit?
fat seat?
Because it's closer to the
No,
microphone.
it's not. I'm closer to,
You want me
to the microphone, the camera.
It's closer to the camera, and you're making
Now,
me.
this is a wide-angle lens to get the whole scenery in of this Hollywood studio that we've made to look like my mommy's kitchen.
It's very good.
You know, it's authentic. You know,
The potato bucket's down here.
potato
And the
bucket,
cornflakes.
cat litter tray,
Cuddly toy.
cat's bowls, everything. It's a proper, authentic look we've gone for.
Wow.
Listen, Johnny and Linda mugs for sale. Get them in the sewing box. There's a couple left. Right, okay.
This is like some sort of skit. Do you know one of those that are off? What do you call those?
A spoof.
Aye,
No.
one of those. It's like Spinal Tap.
Ah,
It's like
right.
Spinal Tap.
Since my baby left me.
When he goes up to 11.
Right, stop screaming. You're making the thing go buzz.
Okay.
Buzz, buzz, a diddle it.
Go.
What song was that from? Right. You know it's like trying to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Murder trying to get a conversation with your doctor. Well, I finally got to talk to my doctor yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. Because I've had a terrible trouble with my hemorrhoids. So I had to drop my trousers and show him the damage. The people in Tesco's weren't best pleased. Boom, boom. People were asking me about the troubles. Mm-hmm. Were there any funny incidents? And I don't want to belittle anything that happened in the troubles or how serious it was for people, but some things did come to light when you're thinking about wee stories. I remember the time there was a bomb at Springfield Road Barracks. It was outside the barracks, and the whole street was devastated. Everything was lying everywhere, you know. And there was a wee woman standing in the street, you know, like crying and really, really upset. And a soldier who was part of the clean-up team went over and says, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, is there something wrong?" She says, "Oh, poor Paddy, his balls are all over the street." Paddy was the pawnbroker. A local pawnbroker in a shop ran bingo. So you get things like that.
Here, that reminds me of something. Can I tell you about this?
Go.
It's linked just a little bit. You're talking about the pawnbroker. Whenever years ago, your mum and daddy would sit and tell you all stories of the way we would tell different stories,
Yeah.
you know, to your kids and that. And she says whenever they would go to the pawnbroker, her mother would send them to a pawnbroker with a box and her dad's shoes in them. And every week they'd go, and then at the weekend they'd get them out again for the weekend, and then they'd go back again on the
That's
Monday.
right, aye.
But after a while, they just went and left the box.
Pawn in an empty
Those
box.
shoes.
A promissory note. There's a box. No, listen, the pawn was a lot of people's sort of lifeline years ago. I don't remember the pawns, even before my time, basically. But other things about the troubles, I remember if there was rioting in Twinbrook, and all you'd hear was, "Stop, there's a couple of Ma's about, a couple of Ma's." So it was all crowds and all getting ready to assemble. And we women, one of them was her, driving through the riot in her Hillman imp. "John, Patrick, Paul, where are you? Where are you?" You know, and all you hear is, "Colin, there's your ma." You know, and Maureen Davidson, God rest her, she'd be beside my ma. It was as if she was riding, you know, like those outboard motorcyclists on her Honda 90. Looking for Tommy and Yank, you know. And I was like, but the whole riot would stop to let them go through, you know. Just, "Right, everybody, stall the ball. Stop. Put them bricks down. Stop it. Go, Mrs. Cullen. Go, Mrs. Davidson." And they'd go through the riot. And then, "Right, start again." You know, so it was like action, you know. I remember my ma sitting behind the steering wheel like that. Where are they, you know. Desperate. I remember speaking to a guy who was a teacher, and he was driving up the White Rock, mid-70s, and there was a barricade across, and there was like masked men manning this barricade, and he was of a nervous disposition, so they stopped the car, wound the window down, and he was obviously, "I'm just going up to school," and he was really nervous, and one of them just went, "It's okay, sir, it's only us." It was the kids in the class who were supposed to be going to teach. Had put masks on, you know. So, I mean, some of the things that happened, and I'm sure People have stories, again, not to belittle what went on. It was horrendous, but at the time, I suppose we used humour as a coping device. We've discussed this before. The one about the Americans. They happened to be here, and the bin lids all started one night, you know. Bin lids. And bin lids were always a sign of there was a foot patrol coming into the area, you know. It was like, ooh, you know, because the dogs were barking the bin lids. And one of the Americans says, "What's that noise?" And the man of the house says, "It's the bin lids. There's a foot patrol coming into the estate." All right. So about 10 minutes later, there was, and your woman says, "Paddy, what are the bin lids saying now?" Now, this brings me to Americanisms, right? Now, the one about, I mean, we talked about this before. My ma's very adaptable. When she goes to America, within 24 hours, she's speaking like them. It's all tuna fish and tomato, and I'm going to the store. You know, all this other stuff. You're going to shop for tomato. So, she acclimatizes like that, but I always wondered about American visitors here. It's strange. One of the guys, who was it wrote in? I think it was James from Belfast. I'm writing down my notes here. He said he had visitors to a cafe. Took him to a cafe in Andytown, you know, all getting something to eat. And of course, you know, way over there, it's, "Hello, my name's Muriel, and I'm your server for today. And how may I serve you? Can I get you a drink of water, complimentary?" And you know, so they're used to all of this. And I go down to Andytown. The waitress is like, "Are yous getting?" "Stop doing that! It's making a noise." "Are yous getting?" "Do you have a menu?" Right, there's a menu. Get through.
Now, obviously, this wasn't lately.
Wasn't lately, no. Menu got through at them, and they're all sitting perusing the A4 bit of paper that had been scribbled on, and they're like, the Americans are looking puzzled, and the guy says to the American visitors, "What's wrong? You know, you're disturbed." He says, "We're just trying to strange drinks here. We're not sure what the story is." And I says, "What is it?" And they handed over the menu, and it was a list under sodas. So they thought a soda was a drink, but it was bacon and egg, 2 sausage, bacon and egg, 1 sausage and egg, and they were going, "It's a strange kind of drink." And they were, you know, so things that don't translate. Oh yes, we were. We talked about this before, about different terms that we use. And Americans use another term. I mean, for instance, a nappy is a diaper, a faucet's a water tap, all of that stuff. But I remember watching this years ago. No, when you're young, any naughtiness at all on TV, and you really laugh your head off because your man does. Or it's like, ooh, if anybody said knickers, it was like, ooh, you know, come on, say knickers. So, and of course now, if somebody said knickers, turn that TV off, turn it over, get the news on. Not be shouting knickers on my TV. So, there was this episode of Kojak, and they were looking for drugs dealers, armed dealers, whatever it was, and they'd set up a roadblock, okay? And they were stopping the cars. And Kojak had said to Stavros, you know, "Stavros, did you search the cars?" "Yes, Lieutenant." And then he said a thing that made us all nearly squeal laughing. "Did you check their trunks?" And we were like, "Did you check their trunks?" Trunks is a different thing here, okay? So we visions of Stavros and Saperstein, whatever you call them, out of the car. "We're checking your trunks." "What, for guns?" "Yes, get out." Of course, what he meant was check the boot of the car. But at the time, I can remember, because I was lying on the floor watching it, you know, all the seats were taken up, and anybody watching me must have been just shoulders, you know. Did you come on, Kojak, check their trunks. So, what have you been doing?
I beg your pardon?
What have you been doing? Doing any work or anything? No?
You know what I mean? I'm always busy. I'm always working.
Bum.
I'm always busy and I'm always working.
Nat.
I'm always busy
Get
in the
away
shop
with
and I'm always working. Of course I am.
Here, I meant to ask you about kissing. Again, we've mentioned this before. Kissing years ago. Mm-hmm. Did we girls kind of say boys were good kissers or not good kissers, or
We didn't know.
you didn't know?
We didn't know. I remember, I don't want to give out the name, but I remember a fella wanting to give me, wanting me to give him a love bite. And I was going, what? I'm not Dracula. No, I was absolutely horrified. Then you went home and tried it in your arm, you know.
He wanted a love bite?
Yeah, didn't know what it was.
Everybody in Twinbridge run around like, have you got leprosy? And everybody practicing on their arm.
And why does anybody want you to do that? You know,
it's like a badge. Look at me. Sexual animal at 13, you know. Got a love bite. You got a love bite, you're mad I knocked your head in.
No. I know. I just couldn't understand why you would want someone to bite you in the neck.
Yes, please bite my neck and suck on it until it bruises.
Hold on. The wee woman is waving at us.
Right. No crossword today. You know, but imagine saying to someone, you know, cause a slight hematoma on my neck.
Before we go any further, I need to see if you can bite my neck.
Yeah, I know. But the
me.
thing is about if you got a date with a girl years ago and we were all the wee lads running about, as soon as you met up with your mates again, it was like, woo, woo, woo. The boys are all going, well, no, not saying nothing. No, not saying, let's not be immature about this. And the boys are all going, he did.
What age were you?
By 24. But we lads were always going, first time, if you reported back to your mates, first thing said to you was, did you try?
Did you try?
Of course, it was a Twinbridge girl. If the guy had a black eye and all and teeth missing, of course he tried. He got his head kicked in. You know, guy entering the trainee octopus competition. Whoa, 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 whoa. And, you know.
There was something on about Greece the other day and the two different versions. You know, the different versions of Summer Nights, and all the boys are saying to Danny Zuko.
Yeah.
And the girl is going, well, we walked hand in hand and had a really nice time.
Yeah.
The two different versions. So when you're growing up, it's always that, isn't it?
It's always that, I know. We lads are wee pigs, like, you know. Mm-hmm. But of course, even a guy trying to be a gentleman, a teenager, would, you know, it would be like, no, I'm not saying nothing. Nothing. And fellas would still go, you. or if he did come out and start boasting, like, yo, happy days. Liar. Couldn't win. Liar. And I'm going to tell her big brothers you were talking about her. And then that was like, pack a case, head for the hills.
I know, they say we women are mad, but I think it's the other way around.
No, so anything else we got to talk about? Selling mugs, okay.
Can you believe he did that?
Johnny and Linda mugs.
I know, can you believe he
make
did
sure
that?
Gives you a happy cup of tea. Happy tea, right? Make sure don't be buying Tetley tea. Tetley.
That's us.
What?
Is that us?
Is that us?
That's
right.
us. That's us.
I will see you again next week. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, say bye-bye to nice people.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I've got to get up again. What do you hate to see the camera still? So I've got to get up without making a noise.